Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a pretty wild one. Today we're talking about the Burj Azizi, which is going to be the world's second tallest building within the next few years. This building is under construction. It started construction in January, but the final height was not disclosed until a little bit earlier this month, and that height is going to be 725 meters or 2,379 feet, and this is going to be the world's second tallest building. I believe by quite a bit. I can't quite remember the height of Madurka. I might put it in the comments or whatever, but this is going to be the world's second tallest building. And yeah, this is another landmark building for Dubai. Obviously, it's not, the world's tallest or anything taking that title away, but this building is not that much shorter than the Burj Khalifa. It's only a couple hundred feet shorter. Like, I believe, what is it, about 300, yeah, 340 feet shorter than the Burj Khalifa. Now that sounds like a lot whenever you're thinking of a skyscraper on its own, but when you're talking about one, how tall the Burj Khalifa is, that's not very much. On the Skyline, this is going to look almost as tall as the Burj Khalifa. And this is not going to be far away from it either. I'll show you another rendering in a minute here of what the Skyline will kind of look in between those two. It's going to look pretty wild. This is going to be quite the sight to see on the Skyline when this building does be finished. It's going to be, I believe, 130 plus stories as well, 131 stories. It's going to have a 7-star luxury hotel. It's going to have a huge shopping mall. I believe it's going to have the world's tallest or highest zip line. Like, it's going to be at like 1,400 feet. Oh, and by the way, Madurka's 2,227 feet. So this is going to be taller than that by, about, wait, how many feet? Like 100 feet or so. But there is a caveat to that, and that is Madurka has a very tall spire on the top that's counted. It's really actually only about 1,700 feet, or no, it's like 1,800 feet tall. So this blows that out of the water by quite a bit. But yeah, so yeah, this is gonna have some crazy stuff along in there. It's gonna be, like I said, breaking quite a few, I believe, records for like the tallest zip line. I believe it's gonna have the tallest infinity pool as well, or something like that, as well. So this is expected to finish in 2028. So 4 years away makes sense. It's a very tall building, 4-year timeline. And again, this is already under construction. So they planned this out that they had an initial height of like 530 or so meters, that they were going to be building, and if it got approved for the 725 meters, they were going to build up to that. So like the building was able to be modified, I guess, during construction, because I'm sure they're just laying foundations. They probably just laid the foundations for the ability to hold a 725 meter building anyway. So yeah, this is going to be a real thing, which is, again, a lot of those other buildings you're talking about, like, oh my goodness, they're going to build the world's tallest building, or whatever. None of those are actually happening. This one is actually under construction currently, and honestly, I wouldn't see a reason that this would be halted. So yeah, this is gonna have the world's highest infinity pool. It's gonna have the world's largest natural, like, rainforest sort of thing inside a building. Pretty interesting, as well there. They are, I think, yeah, planning for construction to be completed in 2028. So this is going to be a pretty wild building, and I do believe this building is just mixed use. It might be mainly residential, but yeah, this is going to be a pretty wild building. Let's look through a few more of these renders here. Again, this is hard. I mean, it's always hard to tell, but this building is extremely tall. I mean, literally the second tallest building in the world. The tallest one is only just a little bit down the street there. So here is what the skyline view will kind of be between these two buildings. And again, this I like this rendering more. It puts into a better perspective the size of this building and stuff. And obviously the Burj Khalifa is off in the distance, but these buildings are not much different in height. So I'm sure looking from one across to the other will look pretty wild, knowing that you're that high up and there is still another building just about as high as you over there. And again, this brings me to another point, and that is that what are we doing? We need to get our act together here in the United States and build us a megatall. Finally build a megatall. It doesn't even have to be the world's tallest. Obviously, that's a tall order. They're not really that, I mean, megatalls in general are not really that financially viable, but just as the home of the skyscraper where it was invented, I think we need to at least have a megatall somewhere. So, yeah, just putting that out there. That needs to be done, in my opinion. But yeah, this building is going to have condos or residences, shopping mall, what else? A hotel, all that sort of good stuff in a mixed-use building. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this building down below. Going to be a monster building, and actually, pretty excited to see what this looks like on the Skyline. See you guys in the next one.